Black girl magic turns to black girl tragic. Hello, good people. It is Todd Shannon, data scientist, social commentator, getter of buckets, and Fani Willis is out. You're out of there. I'm going to do my umpire thing. You're out. And this was a long time coming. Here's the thing about the whole Fani Willis case. Well, it's not really the Fani Willis case. Well, in a sense, it kind of became the Fani Willis case because effectively it became a referendum on Fani Willis and not on Donald Trump. So if you're not familiar with the whole thing, Fani Willis decided to prosecute Donald Trump. I don't know how you don't know this, but to prosecute Donald Trump on RICO cases. And let's have a quick look at kind of how this ended up playing out, because there's a good explanation of kind of the whole thing for those of you who live under a rock and don't really follow the news. Let's have a quick look at it.
Anyone who watched this trial, remember, this is the DA who claimed that the entire Trump reelection campaign was something like an organized crime racket that was intending to deprive everyone of our civil rights to vote. But remember, we saw the dramatic testimony over the summer of how DA Fani Willis had hired her boyfriend, essentially, to be the special counsel, overpaid him, and then had him investigate and bring charges against Donald Trump. It's a complete conflict of interest. And if you take a quick look at the Georgia Appeals Court decision here, that's what it says. There's such an appearance of impropriety, an appearance of a conflict of interest, that Fani Willis should not be the prosecutor. I think this spells yet another case that's going to have to either be suspended or more likely just ended and tossed out. It's hard for me to see another Georgia district attorney wanting to take up this flawed case and try to prosecute Trump on these theories that his reelection campaign was some kind of criminal organized crime enterprise.
John.
So there you see that, and that's kind of the skinny on it. This case was DOA, right? There was never any real kind of really teeth to this case. And I thought it was such a Hail Mary. This is what I think Democrats thought would happen. They thought they would just spam a bunch of charges such that Donald Trump's name would be so embroiled in controversy and lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit. They had the fake E. Jean Carroll case, the supposed SA, or the abuse case. I don't want to say it because they flag stuff and then they suppress your video. So there was the E. Jean Carroll fake case. Then there was the so-called 34 felonies, the paperwork, felonies, some absurd thing. And then there was this, right? The RICO case, right? And they just thought that if they just spammed Donald Trump's name with all kinds of negative activity, that would basically sully his reputation in the eyes of the people. And it didn't really matter. Like, for example, the E. Jean Carroll thing, technically they won that case. The case in New York, the supposed hush money case, they got a conviction there. Most legal experts believe that that's going to be overturned. Even Democrat lawmakers and Democrat attorneys, I should say, knows that it was kind of a nonsense case. And now you got the Fani Willis thing. And I said this back in the day. I said, it almost is like this was such a Hail Mary. It almost like they set her up to fail. And they were hoping on the sheer force of her black femaleness that even if Donald Trump did beat it, that they would say something to the effect of, "Oh, well, he doesn't respect black women." And I said that at the time. This was something that I did. I don't even know what the date is on this here, but just a quick look at that because, as per usual, I bring receipts. This is something that I said back then. Doesn't it seem like they would put someone like her up to this task, knowing that she basically would not succeed, and to be able to say if and when they lose, because they're more likely to lose, oh, it's because Donald Trump, and this is more evidence that that the America doesn't respect black people and black females in particular. It feels very much like that because this is very much in the vein of the sort of tactics of the left, where they put her up to a task that they knew she would almost certainly fail at. And this just feels it feels very much like she's got this role because she's got the right skin color and she's got the right gender and she's got the right politics, very much in the vein of Claudine Gay. And we need to just get hip to this pattern. Doesn't it? So there you see that. I said that here. Here, let me see. When did I say this stuff? When did this? I'm just going to click on this really quick. I put this video out almost a year ago, 11 months ago. So I'm not new to it. I'm true to it, as the old school players used to say. I've been on this game. And if you follow my channel at any length, you know that this is a persistent theme that I have declared, which is that the left basically wants to put black women front and center on all of their frontal assaults, all of their offensive moves, because they want to. It's kind of for the same reason that terrorists, shield themselves with women and children. They want the enemy to be reticent to go on offense because you'll be perceived as being an aggressor against a weaker or a sympathetic figure. And I always kind of knew that this wasn't going to work, but it's just like, all right, most people understood that they had no real legal basis for this entire thing, but they needed someone who had something to gain, someone who would be likely to take that bait because maybe they were insecure about their prospects of success or getting it up into the limelight without a high-profile case like, I'm the one who put Donald Trump in jail. I'm the one who convicted Donald Trump. She would have been able to have that on her resume forever. I convicted Donald Trump of organized crime on a RICO case where he attempted to defraud the American people of their democratic vote. And it 100% backfired because the only person who got hurt in this whole thing was Fani Willis. She had to go and testify to the fact that she had a relationship with Nathan Wade. She basically hired her boyfriend to prosecute a case and the kind of case he had never prosecuted. He overpaid her. There was a clear and obvious conflict of interest. And if there was any objectivity at all, they would have thrown her off the case even back then. And the judge that presided over that case, a white fella who I think, even though he talked about it has the odor of mendacity, he didn't have the cojones to throw her off the case like he should have. But now that it doesn't matter, now that Donald Trump won anyway, there's no reason to keep up the facade. They just said, you know what, let's just get her off the case. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's over. Donald Trump's the president. And there's another thing, another aspect to this where, all of a sudden these institutions and Democrats, they're getting what I like to call their, jailhouse religion, right? All of a sudden now these people understand and they see it, just like all of a sudden they saw that Joe Biden was incompetent and basically senile after that debate when we had been seeing it for the last 3 years. And all of a sudden it becomes apparent to them. All of a sudden after Donald Trump mops the floor with Kamala Harris, all of a sudden now they're seeing the flaws in Kamala Harris and the Harris campaign. And now all of a sudden they recognize that there's some impropriety and an obvious conflict of interest when it comes to Fani Willis and this ridiculous RICO case in Georgia, now that it doesn't matter anymore. This is nothing but jailhouse religion. These people are not genuine. They're not telling the truth. They're only admitting it now because they lost. And this is pathetic. We're going to see more of this. There's so many wins right now. Even Donald Trump recently winning a case against George Stephanopoulos and his fake claims of, RAPE. In any case, Fani Willis ended up hurting herself. And now she will be ever known as, instead of being, black girl magic hero, now it's black girl tragic. I failed in my goal to prosecute Donald Trump. It was a Hail Mary from the first place. And then I had to put my business out in the street on how I had an inappropriate relationship with the person that I hired and overpaid to prosecute this fraudulent case. That's forever going to be on her resume. And I think that's, frankly, I've been trying to tell people, you need to get hip to the liberal tactics. They always try to talk about, we need to elevate voices of color, especially black women. And all you are is a tool. All you are is a disposable object in their warfare against all that is right and true. They don't care about black women of color. If they cared about Fani Willis, they would have never put her up to this garbage because they knew that it was going nowhere. But black girl tragic it is. Let me know what you think, friends. You think I'm being too hard on Fani Willis? You think that I'm wrong, that the Democrats don't really care about women of color? Let me know in the comments. If you're new to this channel, I appreciate you stopping by. Please like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, friends, God bless you.